Assalamu alaikum. M.Iqbal Baloch, Akbar Padashmi Dema Hazira. Marchi Manigoma, US Ambassador to Pakistan, Cameron Munter, Amradari Kanage, और आइए पहला विजिट है क्वेटा बलूचिस्तान और आइए वश न्यूज़ तवार को ता स्पेशल इंटरव्यू वास्ता तो ब्यामा होती गप्पा ना दिमाग बरें और चारें चे इशाने मौक़िफ़ वास्ते बलूचिस्तान वास्ता. First of all, Mr. Cameron, I would like to welcome you on behalf of VSH News for coming to Balochistan. How do you feel being in Balochistan?
I have to say thank you for your kind welcome, and I feel terrific. Balochistan is everything I expected it to be. It's beautiful, it's friendly, it reminds me of my home state of California with the beautiful weather. People tell me you arranged perfect weather for me, which is very kind of you. Look, I like the people here. I like the atmosphere, and what pleases me the most is to have the chance to talk to people who give me a new perspective, different ideas, a diverse group of people, who teach me a lot. So I'm really happy to have the chance to be here.
So, have you had a chance to talk, to interact with people over here in Balochistan? I believe it's your first visit here in Balochistan.
It is. I've been in Pakistan for about half a year. Okay. And my wife and I have traveled to most of the ports of the country, but we realized we hadn't made it here. Today I'm alone, but we realized how important it is that we understand all of the parts of this country. And what I found in this short time is how unique Balochistan is, how it's such an interesting mixture of people, and how the topics here are fascinating.
Sir, how do you see Balochistan in economic perspective?
A lot of challenges, and these are challenges that we in the United States are committed to helping with. We see, for example, the potential of this country. People have talked to me about, for example, the mineral wealth. People have talked to me about the prospects for tourism. All these kinds of interesting ideas are things that we need to work together on with a Balochi lead, but with an American follow. That is to say, all over Pakistan, we want to see every part of Pakistan prosper. We want to follow the lead of the people who can show initiative.
So is there any specific investment plans the US has for Balochistan?
Not really. The way it works with us is that we leave most of the dynamic investment to our individual investors. We're not a country that does a lot of state planning for investment, although, of course, on behalf of the government, we encourage it. But what we're looking for is an atmosphere that's friendly to investors so that those possibilities are attractive to Americans. And especially, I'd have to answer to tell you, people are concerned about the security situation around the country. One of the things we want to make sure is that we support your people here in fighting terrorism, so that the peacefulness can break out all over your country. Right. Businessmen will be.
So do you think that U.S. Can play an important role in creating a market for production, like the production that we have here in Balochistan, like date production or fishery? I think that would help the economy of Balochistan as well as the, of course, overall country of Pakistan. Do you think U.S. can have, as allies, to have a marketplace where, the businessman can export?
Absolutely. There's two parts to your question, as I understand it. One is for us to be open to what you sell, and our buyers can buy the good quality things you produce. For example, I understand in the South, fish, dates, things like that, but other products that you make. We have to do our best to try to put legislation in place in the United States that will make it easier for our Pakistani friends to export to us. The second part of the question is to work as partners so that our investors can come and take part in the economic activity in your country. There's not enough of it, I admit, but we're for it and we support it.
What is your stance on the current situation of Balochistan, the way things are? How do you see that? What do you feel about that?
I think that Balochistan needs more attention, and we're committed to giving Balochistan more attention. We look, for example, in Islamabad, and we see the 18th Amendment. We see the devolution of power to Balochistan, and we see this as an enormous challenge, but an enormous opportunity. That means that the people of Balochistan and the government of Balochistan will have a bigger challenge meeting the needs of the people here, but we can work with them on issues like health, education, things like that. It's an opportunity for us to help build capacity if we can, and to see that the people here are served better and that we can contribute to
Do you believe that the U.S. has paid less attention to Balochistan as compared with other parts?
Well, I think what happens is that we don't pay enough. We have to spend more time visiting. This is not my last visit to Quetta. I want to get to know the people of Balochistan, and not only in Quetta. I want to meet the different communities. I want to see how things are at grassroots, because the way that problems are going to get solved, and I'm speaking of economic problems and opportunity, is through our understanding of your needs, how we can help, and how we can introduce our business to work with you.
So what has been the reason that U.S. has been unable to have a consulate here in Balochistan? Like, if you see in Sindh, there's a consulate, and then Punjab, and then Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So why there isn't one in Balochistan? And it has been for a very long time. I mean, is it the security reason? And if it is, I mean, I think then the security reasons are even worse in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and NWFP. What is the reason?
We have traditionally had, obviously our embassy used to be in Karachi when that was the capital. We've traditionally had consulates in Lahore and Peshawar, so that we have those places built up over many years. We have requested of the government and given our intent to try to open up a consulate here. I'd say there's many reasons why that hasn't happened that range from bureaucratic to just the passing of time. Nothing specific that I would say, but it's something that we're still interested in.
I mean, if it's nothing in specific and nothing that serious, do you think that the small thing that you would overcome and then U.S. would have a consulate in Quetta and in Balochistan?
We certainly hope so.
And when do you see?
I can't say. I simply don't know. We've told the government that we'd like to see it, and we'll see how it goes.
How do you see Gwadar Port? I mean, if Gwadar Port is developed, the supplies that goes to the NATO supplies and all that goes to Afghanistan, it takes a longer route through Karachi and then through NWFP and then Peshawar and goes to Afghanistan. You think that if Gwadar Port is built and then there is infrastructure given in Balochistan through land, roads and stuff, it would be shorter. Does U.S. has any plans like that, in developing Gwadar and to use that as a route?
I think the key thing about Gwadar Port is that if it's good for the people of Balochistan, then we're happy. That's the key. If this is a development that makes commerce come here, opens up the country, that's a great thing. As for our concerns about the supply routes to Afghanistan, we're engaging in a fairly strong diplomatic effort to make sure that we come to a reconciliation in the Afghan war, led by the Afghans, with Pakistani interests represented, where we can see a just and peaceful settlement to the war. Our hope is that this can move quickly, and that a lot of the problems of the last few years, the suffering of the Afghan people, and the losses that we and our NATO friends have taken, can finally die down.
So just recently, ISC Chief General Pasha has met the CIA Director in Washington. Can you tell us about that meeting? How was that?
Well, I wasn't in the meeting, so I can't tell you about the meeting. But I'll tell you it's a good thing.
Okay.
It's a good thing for these guys to talk, because the intelligence agencies of our two countries have to communicate well, just like the militaries of our countries have to communicate well. The backbone of our relationship, in my opinion, is the strong people-to-people link, like what I'm seeing here. But all these institutions have to communicate. We've had some rough times, let's make no mistake. Okay. Over the last couple of months, the Raymond Davis case was a symbol of a kind of bad atmosphere that we don't want to continue. What's the way to get around that? That's to have Mr. Pasha and Mr. Panetta talk, to have understanding between them, understanding between our military, but in my opinion, most important, to spend time in Quetta and have understanding with the people who live here.
Sir, there have been many ups and downs in the U.S. and Pakistan relationship. And just recently we had a document leaked to few of the newspapers stating that ISI is a terrorist organization. Is that a legit news, or how do you see that?
I don't comment about the alleged documents that have been leaked in the press. I can tell you that ISI and our intelligence agency, CIA, have a strong partnership that has gone back for years, and we have great respect for that relationship and for those people in Pakistan who are fighting terrorism with us.